I should be talking right now, but I'm not. I also realized that I hadn't plugged in my microphone, so I just did. So now I need to make sure that it's working. Hey, Tom, can you check my sound? Okay. I'm having kind of a lazy morning because the trainer that we work with is a school teacher. Like, he teaches theater and weightlifting in a private school, and so he has to be to work before we can go. Before, like, I'm not willing to get up early enough to go to the gym before he has to be to work. So when he gets out for the summer, we get switched back to Wednesdays for the summer. So then I can turn my alarm off on Sundays, which is why I'm so late today. Yay. Okay. We are doing Living the Science of Mind. And the good news is the essay today is very, very, very short. So it's not too bad that I'm like running really late. So let's do the housekeeping and do that. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, that the website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. I said the email. Okay. And then, hang on. Now I'm confused. You get one email a week. You know, you could always just comment on it. Sounds good, right? Thank you though. It's one email a week. You get a, clearly not a week yet this morning. And I've been up, had a shower, talked to the cats. All right. So we are talking about the email. It's a blind CC. Nobody will see your email. Nobody will get your email. It tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it will take you right to the information you want or to the person that can help you get it. So that's super important. Okay. And then the last thing is the social medias, because you're obviously watching this on social medias. We do not monetize the social medias. We do not want to deal with the ads any more than you want to deal with the ads. So instead, what we ask you to do is we ask you to engage with the pages and bump us in the algorithms. Go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. Because when you do that, then it bumps us in the algorithms, both on the page and on the posts. So please, feel free to do that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, and I am the running Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So there we go. All right. I might get through today. All right. Let's see. My eyes are, no, not my eyes, just this one, just a little itchy this morning. My allergies have been kind of weird lately. So, all right. Light is on. Book is open. Oh, so just as a refresher, most of these essays came out of the take-home course. There was a take-home course or a at-home course. You could, it was in the back of the Science of Mind magazine. You mailed off for it, and they mailed you a lesson every week for 48 weeks. That's where they came from. All right. I also think they're just Ernest answering questions. I think people would come up to him and they'd go, "Hey, so tell me more about this." That's why they have that feeling of him talking directly to you, because I literally think he's answering questions. So this one is titled The River of Life, which doesn't mean anything. So let's see what there's no clue. What? Okay. So the River of Life. Someone has said there is a river of life, clear as crystal, flowing through the body of humanity, uniting every part into one great being in Christ. Now, he has that in italics, so it's probably a quote from somewhere, but Ernest doesn't cite his sources. So if you're interested, you could Google it. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to do that. You could Google it and see who he actually got that from. Jesus spoke of the well of water from which, if a person drank, they would never thirst again. Throughout the Bible, we have the simile of water, typifying the flowing power of pure spirit. It is impossible to think of spirit as being anything solid. It is always fluid. Now, the cool thing, there's a couple of cool things about thinking of it as water, thinking it is fluid. It means that it can get into the tiniest of cracks, and that it is the inevitable is not the word I want to use. But if you watch water, one, it just flows around obstructions. It also wears them away. The Grand Canyon is one of the best examples. If you look, that canyon was made by water. Even the most solid object will be worn down. So, there's nothing that can get in the way of spirit, and spirit will eventually get in. It's already there, but you know what I mean. All right. In line with this thought, it is interesting to note that modern physics has theoretically resolved all physical form into lines of energy. And these lines of energy must be directed by some intelligence, or they would never take definite form. Therefore, we say that the river of life, forever flowing through us, is ever ready and willing to take the form which we give it. It appears that we have the ability, at least temporarily, to pollute this stream of life with the consciousness of hate, despair, or any negative thought which denies its purity. But of course, we do not really have the power to destroy, only to mold and remold. That's good news. Really, honestly, that we can't effectively destroy it. And that it's just going to keep flowing. It is fortunate indeed that this is true. Like I said, it's good news. For in spite of all of our misdirection, we are still being carried forward on the bosom of the infinite stream to a harbor of perfect safety. We can rest in absolute assurance that God will be the final goal of all things. Like I said, if we think about it like water, water will eventually wear away all obstacles in its path. We can hasten the advent of this good by definitely clarifying our thought and by daily meditating upon the invisible source, the wellspring of life within each one of us. And that's it. That's all he has to say. And the cool thing is what it reminds me of is the cathedral and the well meditation, which Jesse's done in the past. And it's one of those things. The cathedral and the well is because you find the well, you go down to the well, you bring a rock back up from the well. And every time you go down, you bring a rock back up. Eventually, you build this enormous cathedral on top of the well. And then you forget that the well is there because you get so busy caught up in the cathedral. And that's the difference between religion and spirituality. The wellspring is the spirituality, and the cathedral is the religion that built up from people dipping into their spirituality. They codified it. Well, the problem is with spirit, if it is like water, you can't codify it. You can't put it within these specific boundaries, because eventually it's going to get out. And it should. Spirit, we can't contain spirit. Spirit's all there is. Therefore, obviously we can't contain it. All we can do, as he said in the article, or in the essay, all we can do is mold it and remold it. So what we want to do is look around our life and go, okay, well, what molds am I using? And am I happy with those molds? And maybe I should get some new molds. Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. So, that's spirit, and thankfully, because it is constantly flowing. And that's the amazing thing. Like, you come up to a stagnant pond and it is what it is, because there's nothing flowing in and nothing flowing out. The Dead Sea there's two of them, and I forget what the other one's called, are excellent examples of where there's water flowing in, but the water never flows out. Nothing can live in it because, it's so that spirit constantly flowing. It's constantly flowing in, constantly flowing out. Everything is in the process of either coming out of the invisible into the visible, or from in the visible headed back into the invisible. It's always in motion. Therefore, when we come up against that cloudy stagnant, all we got to do is give it an outflow, and the pond will clear. Give it an inflow, give it an outflow, and the pond will clear. So if you are feeling stagnant, you either need more inflow or more outflow. You want to express more life. That's when we stagnate, is when we stop expressing life. So, and there are an amazingly infinite ways of expressing life. So, find the one that works for you and change as often as you need. All right, I'm going to move on with the process of the day because, I need to, that and my stomach's growling at me, so I need to go put something in it. All right, so I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take some time for yourself day, a go be with your community day, a take care of business day, a let's get ready for the coming week day, a cuddle your fur babies day, tell somebody you love them day, a do something nice for yourself day, a stop and smell the flowers day, admire the trees day, a do something silly day, a have a good laugh day, a good day, and if that is too much pressure, and occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right, beloveds, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right? Anything is possible. Okay, that is it. So I'm just simply going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you today. I'll be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. But we will have an amazing service for you right here at 11 a.m. on Facebook Live. And if you're in the area, feel free to come up in person. And if you're watching this video and it's after 11, scroll up one video. All right, beloveds, take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.